Welcome back to This Week in X-Wing. We had a few major stories this week, so I think it's important to cover them for you right now. So first, FFG released a new article today about the Separatist Firespray expansion. This article includes a look at some of the upcoming pilots and, of course, upgrades that are going to be included in the expansion, and we're going to be breaking down those pilots and upgrades for you on our podcast Monday. But a quick highlight is the appearance of a new Slave 1 title that can be used in both Scum and Separatist factions. That's going to matter for a little bit later. Second, with the official release of Heralds of Hope and the TIE Brute on Friday, October 30th, FFG has released the points for those expansions. A couple of noticeable things about the points is the fact that the Starbird Slash is only 1 point. Also, we have a named Resistance RZ2 A-Wing named Meryl Coben. That's the same price as the Blue Squadron Recruit, sitting at 32 points. And also, the cheapest TIE Brute pilot is coming in at only 34 points. And most players are thinking that on the onset, that seems like a pretty good value. But connected to these points that we were expecting to get, we also got a surprise from FFG. FFG updated the points for the Nantex Starfighter. They even released a really well-written article about how no major events had happened in the fall and where they probably would have done pretty well. But I do have to point out that in that same article, they said that they had enough data, both numerically and experimentally, to show that the list needs to be brought down to a reasonable playing field. So, for no reason whatsoever and no connected reason, I just released our new We Are Data t-shirt, available at goldsquadronpodcast.com. So now that I'm done poking fun, let's go ahead and actually take a look at those points. So the chart you're looking at here has the points update for the Nantex for January, July, and October 2020. Now, the current cost is right here in that column, but we're going to be focusing specifically on the Petronaki Arena Ace, as that is the ship that has been doing so well in the Galactic Championship Series. By the way, Coruscant, the ultimate event for the series, is happening November 7th and the 8th. If you're a player, make sure you finish getting registered. And if you're planning on watching, we'll see you on twitch.tv/GoldSquadronPodcast. Now, the cost of that is now currently 35. The Arena Ace is now 35 points, up 5 from the previous 30 points. But I do want to point out and note, in January, they were at 38 points, and FFG took a huge cut out of those points and brought them all the way down to 30. The question that I pose to you guys is, we know that it's cheaper than it was before, and when it was at 38, nobody was playing them, not competitively at least. So at 30, they were meta warping. Some would say meta breaking. Now, the question is, at 35, are they at a point where they're still playable but don't necessarily warp the meta? I'm curious to see if some people overreact and they completely disappear. Will some people still try to bring 6 Nantex lists using a combination of the Petronaki Ace and maybe some of the lower initiative ones, combining Gorgle in there as well? It'll be interesting, but for right now, the thing that you need to know is that the 6 Nantex list as we knew it in its previous form is no more. Now, for our last story of today, you gotta kind of put your tinfoil hat on for some fun here. So with all of the PDFs being updated on FFG's website, the Scum PDF also got updated. Now, all the other factions that didn't have anything happen, they simply updated the date on them for them to say October 2020, so that they all match. But on the Scum PDF, you'll notice that the Slave 1 title is not listed on there. Now, some would say that it just seems like they forgot to attach the last page. That definitely could be it. But the conspiracy theorists out there are starting to think that maybe, because we all have to admit the fact that the Scum Slave 1 title is really, really good. And being able to manipulate your dial like that is extremely powerful and needs to be more expensive. But one of the arguments that people have said is like, well, if what's the point of having a fire spray if you can't fly the Slave One, you know, Boba Fett's ship? Well, with the, as we talked about earlier, release of a new Slave One title that is for Scum and Villainy and for Separatists, the one that's released with, maybe the idea is now there will be a cost-effective Slave One title, and the previous, possibly previous, Scum Slave One title becomes priced out of competitiveness, at least. Again, tinfoil hat time. So with all that, let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on the changes that happened this week? Do you think it'll be enough? Not enough? Petronaki Ace still on top? Let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Gold Squadron out.